Hi there, I'm Sheila Kamara Hay, founder of Ecstatic Birth, and I'm live today to give you an inside peek of the Ecstatic Birth Training Program, which is beginning on Tuesday. So for those of you that don't know me, I am an advocate for pleasurable birth and using pleasure as a holistic birthing tool to birth our babies in a state of empowerment, joy, and transformation. And I run a training program. I do work with expectant moms, a very small group of expectant moms at any given time, but I run a training program for birth professionals, anyone that supports pregnant women, birthing women at any stage of their pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. And it's called the Ecstatic Birth Practitioner Training, and it's starting on Tuesday. So today's live feed, I'm here on Facebook every Thursday at 12:30, sometimes on Instagram too. Today I'll be sharing about the Ecstatic Birth Practitioner Training Program, which is starting on Tuesday. So the thing about this program is I am going to give you all the tools, practices, things that you can use with your clients to support them in having a pleasurable birth, an ecstatic birth, to use pleasure to support the flow of their labor and delivery. But this program is so much more than that. So while you will get those skills, and those skills are really transformational, because right now our culture equates birthing with pain. And so to talk about pleasure in birth is really a revolutionary step. So this is really a paradigm shift. So you're going to get all of that information on how to use pleasure as a holistic birthing tool to stimulate oxytocin flow, to support the flow of labor and delivery, and just to elevate birthing women's experience of birth in general, to have more fun, to enjoy the process of labor and delivery. So that is an innate part of the program. But the program is much more than that. The women that join, the program is intended as a sort of womb and rebirth for these women, for these practitioners. Because what I have you do first and foremost is everything that you're learning, you're going to use on yourself, you're going to use on your body, you're going to use in your day-to-day life, so that you can really understand the tools, what the benefits are, how they feel, what situations they work best in, what, common triggers might be, how to overcome them. So first and foremost, this program is created as a pleasure immersion for you, so that you can really start to take these tools of pleasure and use them on your own body and expand your own capacity for pleasure. Now, this has the benefit of being deeply nourishing. And I know that birth practitioners in general, much like mothers, have a legacy of depletion, because you're giving, you're mothering the mothers, you're constantly giving your energy outward. So when you learn how to nourish your energy through these pleasure practices, it nourishes you, and it gives you a way to source from that spot, so that rather than your energy always going outward and working from that place of like running on fumes, exhaustion, depletion, and just pushing yourself, and just, it gives you a way to source while you're working with your clients from your pleasure and from that vast store of energy that is available to you at any given time, so that as you're working, you're also nourishing. So that is the benefit, another benefit of you really getting to use these practices for yourself first before you use them with your clients. The other piece of it is, if you are able to hold that tone for pleasure in your body, for oxytocin flow in your body, you're able to hold that tone in your own body when you're meeting with your clients. And that's one of the things we talk about a lot, is how do you hold the tone for pleasure in birth? We know that the birthing field is contagious. We know that fear, if it enters the birthing room, can negatively affect labor and delivery. So we're going to flip that. We're going to say, you know what, rather than being scared of the fear, what if the strongest tone in the room is pleasure? What if the strongest tone in the room is that of oxytocin flow, and that you are able to hold that tone in the room and support your clients in that as well? So that's one level of this training program. The training program is a year long, and it's meant to be completely doable in your day-to-day life. The commitment is 2 hours a week, and this is very intentional, because I don't want you to disrupt the rhythm of your life. I want you to start to take these tools and practices and really integrate them into what you're already doing, and really come out at the end of the year with that rebirth, that transformation complete for you. So while it is a year-long program, you're not taking a year and going off to Bali or Hawaii, or those places are absolutely magnificent, and I would love to do a training there one day. But the purpose, the way this program was created, was it's virtual, so you can do it from, you can do it from your home, from your office. You can fit it into your life as your life already exists, and then start to integrate and create the transformation there. Now, another level that you do get in this program is how to be effective in your work, because if you're holding the tone for a vision of birth that is very different from what we see most commonly in the culture out there, it can feel so difficult to be effective because you're going uphill. Everyone around you is doing the opposite of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve. And so we talk a lot about, like, how can you be effective in your work? How can you bring this out into the world in a way that feels sustainable, in a way that feels effective? So that's another layer of it, is we really go into sourcing your business and the work that you're doing from your pleasure as well, so that you can be really effective and powerful in the work that you do and not feel like, like a little mouse on a molehill, or like just climbing the steepest mountain. Because the truth is that this is a big paradigm shift, bringing pleasure into the birthing room, teaching women how to tap into that ecstatic presence within themselves, tap into that fierce feminine power in birth. It's really a paradigm shift from a lot of what we do see happening around us, and the shift is happening. It's changed a lot since I started doing this work, since I birthed my babies, actually now 12 years ago. So it's happening. There are a lot of incredible people at my side, helping this paradigm shift happen, and a lot of those incredible people you will hear from in this training as well. So I want to talk a little bit about the curriculum and how it works, because there's a lot of different layers. We have the modules for the Ecstatic Birth Practitioner Training, which, when I'm done, what I will do is put the link on there. But my website is ecstatic-birth.com. And so you can go on there and see the curriculum for the Ecstatic Birth Practitioner Training, which is the 10 modules, and I'm going to read them quick. Module 1 is the practitioner's role in ecstatic birth. Module 2, foundations for ecstasy. Module 3, embodied empowerment. Module 4, integrating pleasure. Module 5, opening to pleasure. Module 6, body integration. 7, disarming fears. 8, dancing with the unexpected. 9, your client roadmap. And 10, transforming the culture. So these modules, you get about one a month. They get dripped to you, and these are pre-recorded. This is the information. This is the meat of the Ecstatic Birth Practitioner Training. And that is something that you do in your own time and space. You ingest, you soak this in, you revel in this information in your own time and place. So that's one layer of content that you receive in this program. Another layer of content is something called the Ecstatic Birth Training Sessions, which is a lecture series by some of the most visionary leading women in the fields of childbirth, female sexuality, pleasure, and female health. So you're going to be hearing from Dr. Christiane Northrup. You're going to be hearing from Ina May Gaskin. You're going to be hearing from Dr. Sarah Buckley. You're going to be hearing from Deborah Pascali-Bonaro. These are some of the most visionary women in the field of birth and pleasure. And then you're going to hear from sexual educators such as Sherry Winston, who is a midwife turned award-winning sexual educator. Saida Desolé, one of my all-time favorite sexual educators. Mama Gina, also known as Regina Thomashower of Mama Gina School of Womanly Arts, who is the self-dubbed Queen of Pleasure. You're going to be hearing from them, from Dr. Aviva Ram, and so much more. You're going to be hearing different zones of their genius in regards to this idea of pleasurable birth, of ecstatic birth. And so you're going to get a whole spectrum of perspectives on the field. You're going to get a whole array of information, and that is dripped to you on a weekly basis in between the modules. And for each of these lectures, we have discussion questions and an online forum where we're actively integrating the information and learning from one another. Then we have a layer of the live calls. So once a month you have live calls as well. Now the live calls are to build our community, because as I said, we can learn from one another. In this training program, we have women from all around the world. I'm so proud to say all over the US and Canada, all over Europe. We have Australia, we have New Zealand, we have South America. So we have a really diverse group of women geographically, and we also have a really diverse group of women in terms of what they do. So we have doulas, we have midwives, we have yoga instructors, we have a really wide array. So it's really fun to come together as a community, do the practices together, talk about the content, how it's landing, if we have any questions, to discuss amongst ourselves, to make connections, to learn from one another. Often one woman will pose a question and then you'll get different perspectives from different people that work with expectant moms in different ways. So the live calls are another layer of information and another point of connection that you receive. And then we have body practices, and this is throughout the entire training. You get body practices throughout the entire training to open for pleasure, to understand how your energy flows so that you can start to unlock the places where you grip and resist pleasure and really start to open and allow that to organically flow through you. And we have one entire month just dedicated to this. So while you're getting the body practices throughout the training, you also have one full month to really delve into the body practices, because as I said, embodiment is a key part of this training. There's an online Facebook group, there's an online space where all the content is housed. And I just want to say, oh, hi, Christina, so fun to see you here. I just want to say, if any of you have any questions along the way, definitely feel free to, if you're on Instagram and watching this, you can private message me. If you're on Facebook, put a comment in. Christina Sloan, who I think you are joining us, right? You're joining us for the next round as well. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention, actually, is one of the things I'm really dedicated to is building this community of practitioners. So you take the training once, you graduate, you're invited in again, year after year after year, because there's a continual deepening, a continual dive into pleasure that's accessible to you. And then just to stay in the conversation with other like-minded practitioners is huge, because, again, this is a paradigm shift. This is really, it's not always easy to be holding that tone for this paradigm shift when the weight of the culture right now is so much against us, so heavy against us as we're trying to create this. So it's really important to stay in connection and to be each other's doulas for those moments where, one of us feels like, oh, I just can't go on anymore, and then the rest of us are standing for you. So that's another aspect of it. And so Christina's saying that the live calls are her favorite. Just kidding, the body practices are my favorite. So we have a good time, and it really, it'll resonate with you at whatever level you need it to resonate with you. So what I mean by that is, if you're really desiring that like professional, like you want your skills, you want to have skills that you can integrate into the work that you're doing with your clients, that's great. You're going to get all of that. And if you really want the piece for yourself personally, so that you can start to feel more pleasure in your life and more joyful in your life, and then bring that to your clients, that's the piece that you'll get, and you'll get more. And if the piece that you really want is, I really want to change this culture, I really want to create like transformation on a big level, you'll get that piece. And it might be that one year one piece is most the piece that most resonates with you, and another year something else resonates with you. So I really just want to invite any of you, if you do have questions about the curriculum, to reach out. Whether you can email me at sheila@ecstatic-birth.com. You're welcome to comment even after this video is done. I'll be keeping an eye on it. And we're going to start on Tuesday, and registration will close Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I am going to say goodbye for today. I'm just going to check and see if we have any more comments. I don't see any. So I'm going to say goodbye for today. And I'm going to put some links here for you. So if you want to learn more, you have access to that. But again, my website is ecstatic-birth.com, and you can take a look there to find out more about the Ecstatic Birth Practitioner Training, which starts on Tuesday. So thank you for watching, and lots of love. All right, bye.